I'm Mr. McGrath. I'm the Head of Geography here at the Embrook School. I'm going to run you through a quick presentation about the ins and outs of geography, the course, why I think it's a great option for your future. Then we're going to hear from two of our current sixth formers about why they chose to take geography. So here we go. I'm going to go through teachers, the course itself, why it's a good choice for your futures, the links to current affairs, the trips we do, and the fact that we have a great track record with geography at the Embrook. First off, the teachers. If you choose geography at Embrook, you will have two teachers. You'll have myself, Mr. McGrath. I am the head of geography, and I am the physical geography specialist. It's my interest in geography, it's what I know most about, and so it's what I'm best able to teach. You'll also have Mr. Whitehouse. He's the assistant head at the school at the moment, and he teaches the human geography side of the course. And again, that's his specialism. It's what he's most interested in. If you pick geography with us, you'll get two teachers, both specialists in their own fields, who will teach you their content, and yet still know the information about the other content, so we can meld it all together. Obviously, the most important reason you should pick geography is that you find it interesting. Hopefully, the reason you're watching this is that you do find it interesting, and you want to learn a little bit more about what it is you're going to find out. So we start off Year 12s looking at coastal landscapes with myself, learning about how the coast acts as a system, building on some of the knowledge you already have from GCSE. With Mr. Whitehouse, you would do changing spaces and making places, a human geography topic, looking at what it is that makes a place and our perceptions of those places. After you've done both of those topics, you move on to two separate topics again. Disease dilemmas with Mr. Whitehouse, which couldn't be more relevant right now, given COVID, and with me, hazardous Earth, looking at tectonics and updated theory about volcanoes and earthquakes. In Year 13, you look with me at Earth's life support systems. That's looking at the water cycle and the carbon cycle and how it helps to create a system of our Earth. Mr. Whitehouse, you do two smaller topics. Global migration, very important now given the current situation in the Mediterranean and migration. Also, ever evolving given our relationship with the EU. And then we look at human rights. So where do we have the human rights in the world, issues going on in the world, countries which think they have great human rights but maybe don't, where there is a lack. And lastly, you do an independent investigation, essentially a piece of coursework. We guide you, we help you, but you create your own question, you do your own research, and you draw your own conclusions. We take you away on a field trip, but I'll discuss that in a moment. You might want to pause the video here. This is a QR code of the course. Scan it, and it will take you to a list of what we do. Then press Control F, Control Find, and look at each of these different names inside that specification. That's what we study and the content we study. Other than it being a subject you have a genuine interest in, one of the other main reasons you should pick geography is it's great for your future. Russell Group universities refer to it as being one of 8 facilitating subjects. Now, they don't do facilitating subjects anymore. They stopped using that term a short while ago because they created a website that gave you much more specific advice. But what it means is Russell Group universities, the top 20 odd universities in the country, recognise that geography is one of the better subjects to help you in any future degree of study. And that's because of all of the opportunities it gives you in terms of the science aspect, the humanities aspect, the data aspect, the analysis, the evaluation. They recognise its value for almost any topic you might choose to study. It links well with other subjects. So for instance, any subject will tell you that it links well, but geography straddles the sciences. So for instance, we look at the formation of clouds and how particles expand and get smaller, saturation points, methane, climate change. But then we also look at the humanities side. So we look at politics, we look at inequality, we look at what it is to be a place. We can link in almost any subject, which makes geography a really versatile choice that goes well with any other subject you have picked. And transferable skills. We look at data analysis, evaluation, critical thinking, understanding. All of these are skills which you can refer to on CVs, applying to jobs, but also use in future life. This is just a quick graphic to show you that studying geography at A-level doesn't mean you have to be a geographer. Of the people that studied geography A-level in 2016, 82% went to university, an enormous amount. Only 18 of those were going to do geography, 21% going to do other sciences, and 35% going to arts, humanities, and social sciences, showing again the great variety of jobs you can get by studying geography at A-level with the Embrook. The Guardian, an unbiased source here in terms of, obviously I'm biased, I'm the head of geography here, I love geography, so we need to be able to hear from someone who isn't a geographer. And this is the headline: The Guardian view on geography. It's the must-have A-level. A couple of quotes here. They've said it's inherently multidisciplinary, which means it connects the social sciences and the actual sciences. It's intrinsically interesting. One of the reasons I love geography is it's so up-to-date and so interesting about the world and everything going on. And then the last quote: only 5.8% of geography graduates were still job hunting 6 months after they graduated, against an average of 7.3. If you take it to university, you have a better prospect of getting a job than some other degree courses. Better than the average. I couldn't not talk about current affairs, and obviously current affairs is dominated by COVID-19 at the moment, but we study a whole topic on disease dilemmas. It couldn't be more interesting and intrinsic to what we look at. The inequalities about who gets the diseases, the inequalities about who gets the treatments for those diseases, looking at the physical geography of why some places might be more likely to get the disease than others. Beyond that, though, there's loads of other things we could link it to in the news. For instance, this is just the top 10 BBC News articles on the day that I've made this presentation. You can see, for instance, a typhoon, looking at how the modern world is impacted by geography. Geography is the world, so it couldn't be more important in terms of understanding the world compared to any other subject. A really important thing you should consider is the track record. Put simply, geographers at the Embrook get good grades. If you do geography with us, if you put your effort in, we will secure you the best possible grade, and you can use that to expand your future to anything you want. I couldn't not mention trips. We do 2 trips. We do a compulsory trip to this place. It's called Nettlecombe. We might change it year on, year out, but essentially we take you away for a school week and we look at doing your independent investigation. We look at places like Minehead and Porlock Bay, and we do an investigation either on a coastal environment or on a town-village environment. We also get a non-compulsory trip, an optional trip, to Iceland. So we go to some of the famous features of Iceland, looking at its rugged landscape. Obviously, we couldn't not go to the Blue Lagoon. And one of the good things about geography is, like I've said, it is the world around us. We couldn't not go to these places. I teach you about the coasts. I want you to see the coast. I want you to see the black sand beaches of Iceland. We teach you about these things, and we want you to go out and explore the world. So why take geography? Well, 2 excellent teachers here at the Embrook. You've got the head of geography and an assistant head teacher who has also been a former head of 6th form here. He knows his stuff, I know mine. Subject specialists as well. An interesting course. Fundamentally, it is the world. It couldn't be more appropriate. It's choosing for your future because there are so many options what you can do in your future if you choose geography. Relates to current affairs really well, keeps it interesting, but also means that you are well informed about what's going on. We've got a great track record when it comes to our exam grades. You get the opportunity to do 2 different trips, a compulsory and an optional, one to the south coast of England, southwest coast of England, and one to Iceland. But ultimately, pick geography because you have a genuine interest in the subject. If you don't like geography, you won't do well. It's true with any of your A-levels. Pick subjects you want to do because you find them interesting. And I find it difficult to think that you wouldn't find geography interesting. So I'll leave it off here. Any questions? There's my email address on the screen. Feel free to email me and let me know it's in relation to this video. We're just about to hear now from 2 of our 6th formers, because I've blabbered on a bit about why you should take geography at the Embrook. But let's hear from some of the people that actually chose geography at the Embrook.
Yeah, so I chose it because it's literally everywhere. If you look around you, you see that geography is pretty much everywhere you look. Especially when you go to the beach, you get to understand why things are like that, why certain things look a certain way, pretty much.
I chose geography because the content's very interesting and there's a wide range of it. So you've got the science side of geography, which is learning about like the coast and the landforms and the rocks, and there's the humanities side, which is we are currently learning about like inequality in places, and you learn about different places and about the people inside the places.
And I know we're going on to look at diseases as well, which is actually quite fitting from today's current climate. So I think that'll be quite interesting to just benefit us to understand a bit more about what's happening.